Hello everyone, welcome to Shankar Academy. So in today's video, what are we are going to see is about the first weeks of some highlights in this November first week. So some of the important events which are reflected in the newspapers. Okay, so among these, first we are going to see about the Women's World Cup and its results. Okay, so coming to this Women's World Cup 2025, who is the winner? Okay, so kind of questions which are asked in the central government examinations like the SSC and RRB are like that. What is the recent sports event which has mainly happened? Okay, so among these first Women's World Cup, so they are going to ask about the who is the host nation first, okay, and then who is the winner, who is the runner, and what are the some of the highlights regarding who is the highest run taker, who is the highest wicket taker, okay, and any other highlights regarding this events. Okay, so among this Women's World Cup 2025, the host nation, which is India. Host nation is India, and then we become the winner for the first time. So in this World Cup 2025, the winner is India, and the runner-up is South African nations. And then who is the highest run taker? So among the highest run takers, the South African player Lara Woldred, she becomes the highest run taker of this entire Women's World Cup series. And then from the Indian side, who is the highest run taker is the Smriti Mandhana. Okay, so the highest run takers is Lara from the South Africa, and then from the Indian side, it's by the Indian cricket team vice captain Smriti Mandhana for the Indian side. And then one among the highlight is the recently held 2020 World Cup is the event where India won the same South African side in the T20 World Cup, which is by the different team, which is the Indian men's team. So it's like a revenge match which happens between the South African and India, but India doesn't give any way to the South Africa to capture the World Cup. Obviously, India has successfully won this World Cup. So one of the main player who play the role in this World Cup winning moment is Deepti Sharma, who became the highest wicket taker in this entire series among all the nations, and also for the India too. She is the highest wicket taker. And then for this achievement, she got recognition called as the player of the series. So previously, these highlighting awards are given in the name of the man of the match, man of the series. But after this women's cricket getting this, the award has been changed to the name like the player of the series, player of the match, which has been the men's too. So hereafter, there is no man of the match of the series or men of the any kind of the awards for all the events, even for the men's event or for the women's event. What is given in the name of the player of the match or the player of the series? So in this Women's World Cup 2025, the player of the series award has been given to the Deepti Sharma, who got the highest wicket taker. And then in the final match, for her splendid performance, Shafali Verma got the player of the match award. For the overall performance, Deepti Sharma got the player of the series. Then for the final match performance and for her splendid performance, Shafali Verma got the player of the match award. And then coming to the next highlights, like which nation got the highest World Cup? So obviously, coming to the World Cup events, the Australia becomes a beast. Is performing in a very enormous manner, both in the men's side and in the women's side too. So coming to the Women's World Cup too, the Australian nation has got the highest number of the World Cups. So among these nations, ranking the nations based upon their World Cup, Australia got totally 7 cups. So after this, obviously we all know that England, which becomes the second highest nation to got the World Cup, which is 4 cups. So the entire domination between this Australia and England, and then coming to the third place and fourth place, which is held up by the New Zealand and then India. Both got their World Cup for one single time. So then, From when did this World Cup, Women's World Cup series has been happened is, it happened even before the Men's World Cup. That is what the surprise for all. Okay. So when did this World Cup, the first World Cup edition for the Women's World Cup is happening in 1973, which is way back 2 years before even the Men's World Cup, which has been happened in the 1975. So the first World Cup is took in the 1973, which is hosted up by the England and won by the England. Both England become the both host and winning nations. So these are the key. Any kind of the examinations writing for even for the banking examinations, mains, and then for the SSC examinations, the IB examinations, the railway examinations, all these entire examinations which are taking this questions from the sports events, like for any kind of sports, not only in this Women's World Cup, for any kind of the sports, the questions are basically from the who is the winning, who is the runner-up, and then what is the main highlight of events, and something of the statistics like which nation has got their highest World Cup events or highest winner-up, and which nation has got the first World Cup events. So these are the areas where the questions has been asking. Okay, so these are this is about the summaries of about these Women's World Cup events. So do follow our video for the regular updates. Okay, thank you.